So the next topic is axilla. So like what do you think about axilla? Like मतलब अगर upper limb के context में इसको सोचें, so just think about what is the purpose of axilla. By the way, what is the purpose of axilla? Yeah. What is the purpose of axilla in context of the upper limb? Like upper limb is made up of what? You can think of. हाँ, क्या क्या चीजों से बना है upper limb? Bones हैं, there are bones, there are muscles. So sit down. So can bones and muscles survive without blood vessels and nerves? They cannot survive of their own. There might be muscles who might have origin and insertion in the upper limb itself, but then there should be something which has to be there to provide nutrition to these muscles. Even bone is a vascular tissue, so there should be proper blood supply to the axilla. So that blood supply and nerves, they pass through a channel, or we can say it is a conduit, or I would say a conducting channel which conducts the arteries, which conducts the veins and the nerves from the body or from the trunk to the upper limb. So that means this is, I would say, a conducting thing, a conducting channel, a gateway through which the blood vessels, nerves, and then there are lymph nodes also. So they all will be passing. So we will be reading about this space in particular. अब ये बिल्कुल ऐसा junction पे है upper limb के और thoracic region के, तो तुम सोचो कि मतलब इसका shape कैसे हम define करेंगे. There would be certain walls and something. So we will be reading about कि इसका wall कैसा है, skin कैसा है, क्या क्या इसके contents हैं. So about that we will be reading. और बहुत सारी चीजें ना तुमको पता भी है, मतलब that you will be able to answer with the basic knowledge which you are having. So for today's session, the competencies are, at the end of the session you will be able to describe the boundaries and contents, identify and describe the boundaries and contents of the axilla, identify, describe and demonstrate the origin, extent, course, parts, relations of the axillary artery and vein are the main arteries and veins which are like continuing from the trunk to the upper limb. So axillary artery, axillary vein, you will be able to describe the axillary group of lymph nodes and explain the anatomical basis of the enlarged axillary group of lymph nodes. So these all are things. So that means अब एक हमारे दिमाग में पिक्चर बन गया कि हमको एक्सिला पढ़ना है, and then उसके बाउंड्रीज और कंटेंट्स क्या क्या है. मेन कंटेंट्स आर axillary artery, axillary vein, and there are axillary group of lymph nodes. So about these structures we will be reading in detail. Now looking at this picture, ये सब तुम लोगों को जाके एक काम करना है कि आप मिरर में देख के एक्सिला जो है ऐसा आम खुद का एबडक्ट करके try to hold the anterior axillary fold and the posterior axillary fold. This is the anterior axillary fold, this is the posterior axillary fold. यहाँ पे ये दिख रहा है कि axilla is actually a pyramidal shaped space which is bounded by an anterior wall, which is bounded by a posterior wall. This is the lateral wall of the axilla, this is the medial wall of the axilla. There is a base of axilla between anterior and posterior walls, and then we have an apex or a canal that is known as cervico-axillary canal which forms the apex of the axilla. अब यहाँ पर अगर तुम्हें ये anterior wall of axilla दिख रहा है तो तुम pectoral region की muscles describe कर सकते हो कि anterior wall में कौन कौन से muscles होंगे बेटा. ये है anterior wall of axilla. So which muscles can you think of they are in the, यहाँ पे कौन सी muscle है? There is pectoralis major and pectoralis minor muscle. Now if this is the posterior wall of the axilla, it is formed by the costal surface of the scapula. So which muscle is lying on the costal surface of scapula? Subscapularis muscle. And can you think of any other muscles like which are there posteriorly? Okay, you're saying there is one muscle, serratus anterior. So that serratus anterior, it will be lying in which wall? Medial wall or the posterior wall? Medial wall. Why? Because it is medial wall of the axilla. Here I want to tell you that medial wall of the axilla is formed by upper three or four intercostal spaces. So that means if I am talking about 3 or 4 intercostal spaces, so how many ribs will be forming the medial wall of the axilla? 4 to 5. So because there are 3 to 4 intercostals, so 4 to 5 ribs. And which muscle is attached to the outer border of upper 8 ribs? Serratus anterior. So that serratus anterior will be forming the medial wall of the axilla. Now which bone is forming the lateral wall of the axilla? Which bone I am talking? Humerus is forming. So is whole of the humerus is forming lateral wall of the axilla? No. It is the humerus in the region of the bicipital groove that is forming the lateral wall of the axilla. So we can think of in the bicipital groove there is latissimus dorsi. So this way, this is actually the space, the axilla. Roughly you can think of. Now where is the base? We have in the anterior wall, we will be dealing with these structures in detail, don't worry. In the anterior wall we have pectoralis major minor. In the posterior wall we have subscapularis, latissimus dorsi. Medial wall has serratus anterior, lateral wall is formed by humerus. Now where is the base? Where is the base? How it will be formed? If it is a pyramidal shape, we can think of. So where is the base? Base is lying between the anterior and the posterior walls. So it is a space lying at between the anterior and posterior walls, and I would say at the lower end of the axilla. So at the lower end we can say there is 5th rib or there is 4th intercostal space. So we will be seeing the medial wall, the medial boundary of the base will be formed by serratus anterior. So now here you can think of that base is somewhat over here, and then whole of the axilla, this whole axillary space, it is filled up of fat. There is so much of fat because these structures which are passing from the chest or from the thoracic region to the upper limb, they have to be like this. There should be certain cushioning for these structures. So that cushioning is provided by the fat which is located, this abundant fat which is located in this region. So when you will be dissecting, you will find ki itna fat hai ki nikal nahi raha hai. So this is the axilla or the armpit. It is located between upper arm and the thoracic wall. Roughly we can say it is a pyramidal shaped structure formed by apex, base, anterior wall, posterior wall, medial wall and the lateral wall. So it is like that. So boundaries of the axilla, if somebody says the axilla has got an apex, it has got base, it has 4 walls, all anterior, posterior, medial and lateral walls. So this way you can look over here. Now this we can say this one is the medial wall of the axilla formed by the ribs. Then in the upper part of the humerus, it will be forming the lateral wall. Then we have this one is the apex of axilla, which is open in the form of cervico-axillary canal. It is located behind this clavicle, and to the outer border of the first rib is also forming the medial boundary. We will be seeing this one, and this is the base of the axilla between the anterior and the posterior wall. So this way, this whole axilla it is formed. So then, so axilla here. This picture actually, ये मुझे इसलिए ठीक लगा कि it is showing actually this anterior axillary fold and the posterior axillary fold, and you can see all the walls, they are like converging onto the humerus or onto the lateral wall. So it seems that all the walls are typically they are converging on the humerus. Why? Because all these muscles, they are inserted onto the humerus. So that is why it seems that all the walls, they are like converged onto the lateral wall. So now this is the first thing, that is the apex of the axilla. You will be asked to draw a diagram, or you will be asked that which structures are forming the boundaries for the apex. So the boundaries for the apex, they are formed by medially, it is formed by the first rib, and then you can see there is clavicle in front. It is articulating with the acromion process of the scapula. So here there is acromion process of the scapula, there is clavicle in front, and then this medially it is bounded by the first rib, and then you can see this superior angle of the axilla. It is actually this muscle is the serratus anterior, which is like I would be saying joining this whole apex. So apex is a triangular space which is bounded in front by the clavicle, medially by the first rib, and then clavicle at the lateral wall, it is articulating with the acromion process of the scapula. Now these two walls, they are connected by the serratus anterior, so it forms in the front there is clavicle, behind there is upper border of the scapula, and then medially there is outer margin of the first rib, so you can remember it by so it is directed towards the root of the neck, and what all structures will it transmit? It will be transmitting the axillary vessels, the cord of brachial plexus, long thoracic nerve, and the efferent subclavian lymph trunk. हमने क्या क्या बोला कि axilla में क्या है? There are arteries, there are veins. So veins will be like, they will be going from downwards to upwards, and arteries, they will be, so which artery is there? The axillary artery and the axillary vein. The cords of the brachial plexus, they are actually the nerves, that is the nerve plexus which will be supplying the upper limb. There is long thoracic nerve, this is the nerve for the serratus anterior. So long thoracic nerve will also be passing through it, and there is efferent subclavian lymph trunk. This efferent subclavian lymph trunk is the trunk which is formed, or like which will be transmitting the lymph from the axillary group of lymph nodes. Lymph, it ultimately drains where? Ultimately whole of the lymph, it drains where? It drains into the venous system. So subclavian lymph trunk from here, then internal jugular from here. So they will be like coming, and then they will be draining into the right lymphatic trunk. But of course from the upper limb, it is the subclavian lymph trunk which will be carrying the lymph from the upper limb. So anterior wall, it is formed by two muscles, you rightly said. One is the pectoralis major and the second muscle is the pectoralis minor. So pectoralis major, you know its origin and insertion. It is originated from where? Can you adjust? Yeah. The boy. Yeah. Yes. Anterior surface of medial half of the clavicle, then from the sternum, this manubriosternal part, and then this is the up to which rib? Sixth rib. So sixth, because eighth rib directly it doesn't attaches to the sternum, so you can think of the sixth till sixth rib is its origin. Then it is inserted where? Next, it is inserted where? On which lip of the bicipital groove? Lateral lip of the bicipital groove. So pectoralis major, you can think of it as a fan-shaped big muscle. So it will be forming the anterior wall of the axilla, and then there is a smaller muscle, that is pectoralis minor, originating from third, fourth and fifth ribs, and then it will be inserted onto the coracoid process of the scapula. So these two muscles, when you will be like holding the anterior fold, you can just try to hold the anterior fold of the axilla, so that will be formed by skin and these two muscles along with the fat. So anterior wall also has the subclavius muscle and the clavipectoral fascia. So subclavius muscle is between the clavicle and the first rib. There is a small muscle between the clavicle, subclavian groove of the clavicle and the first rib, and then there is clavipectoral fascia. From above downwards it comes, it encloses subclavius, then it encloses the pectoralis minor muscle. So clavipectoral fascia is there. So then I come to the posterior wall. So posterior wall, which are the muscles which will be forming the posterior wall? The subscapularis, the teres major, and the latissimus dorsi. So latissimus dorsi and the teres major, the latissimus dorsi is related to the inferior angle of the scapula, teres major is related to the lateral border of the scapula, then subscapularis is onto the anterior surface. So these muscles, they will be forming. So posterior wall is formed by subscapularis, teres major and the latissimus dorsi. So these muscles, they will be forming the posterior wall. Now the medial wall, it is formed along 3 or 4 intercostal spaces, and the muscle which is lying onto this wall is the serratus anterior muscle, and it is inserted where? Onto the medial border of the scapula. So it will be inserted on over there. So medial is formed by upper 3 or 4 intercostal spaces, upper part of the serratus anterior, because it takes origin from the atrius. Long thoracic nerve, which is the nerve to the serratus anterior, and of course if this nerve is damaged, what will happen? Winging of scapula, the medial border of the scapula will become prominent. And there is one more nerve which is lying along the medial wall, that is the intercostobrachial nerve. This is a cutaneous nerve, I would say cutaneous branch of the T2 spinal nerve, which pierces the medial wall, and then it supplies the medial part of medial surface of upper part of the arm. Remember this intercostobrachial nerve, because it is the nerve through which the cardiac pain it radiates to the upper this medial surface of upper part of the left arm. Okay, do you remember the name of this nerve? Intercostobrachial nerve. इसको बस ऐसे याद रख लेना, क्योंकि T2 is actually T1 to T5 is the sympathetic supply to the heart also, and this is the cutaneous supply to the medial border of the arm. तो जब वो spinal cord या brain में जाता है, उसको ऐसा लगता है कि heart से नहीं आ रहा है, ये pain कहाँ से आ रहा है? Medial border of the arm. So that is why pain from the heart, it radiates to the along the medial border of the arm. So this is the nerve which is responsible. So just remember the name. Then lateral wall is formed at the bicipital groove along with coracobrachialis and biceps brachii. They also participate in forming the lateral wall of the axilla. Do you remember the muscle coracobrachialis? Coming from coracoid process, inserted onto the just middle of the humerus, I would say, and then biceps brachii, you remember, superior head and the short head and the long head of the biceps. So both these you remember, and then the bicipital groove. So I think no confusion till now, है ना? सारी walls तुमको clear हो गई. Now coming to the base. Base is also known as the outlet, I would say, and then it is formed at the level of the 4th rib. हमने क्या बोला कि भाई या 4th है या 5th है. So 3rd or 4th level. So this is the 4th rib. Then it is bounded by the serratus anterior. Pectoralis major is coming in the front. It is going to the lateral lip of the humerus over here, and then posteriorly there is scapula, there is subscapularis, and the structure which is connecting this is the teres major and the latissimus dorsi. So these are the boundaries actually which are forming the base. So again you can think of the boundaries of the base. So base along its medial wall will be formed by this 4th or the 5th rib. Then in the front, which muscle is there? Pectoralis major. Laterally there is humerus, and then you can see posteriorly there is scapula, its costal surface, and subscapularis muscle is attached to it. And then there are teres major and also pectoralis minor is lying behind the pectoralis major, and the structures which are passing through this base and what it is made up of, it is having axillary artery and axillary vein. यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा दिख रहा है कि ये जो blue colored structure है वो इस circle के बाहर है. Axillary artery is inside, brachial plexus is inside, and axillary vein is outside. So this structure is known as axillary sheath. This axillary sheath is formed by a prevertebral fascia which is coming from the neck, and it is covering what? It is covering the axillary artery, it is covering the brachial plexus, but axillary vein lies outside of the axillary sheath. Why? Because there has to be dilatation of the vein, and then it comes back to its position, और artery क्या है, अपने place पे ही रहेगा. कई बार this question might be asked, अभी नहीं तो head and neck का fascia है, it is continuing into the arm, so even the infections can travel from the neck region over here, and this question is very commonly asked in as MCQ, which structure is outside the axillary sheath. So which structure is outside the axillary sheath? Axillary vein. So what is inside is the brachial plexus and the axillary artery. So then lateral wall. So lateral wall is formed at the level of the bicipital groove. It has got tendon of biceps and the coracobrachialis. So they will be forming the lateral wall. So now the base is directed below and presents concavity. It has got a skin, superficial fascia and an axillary fascia. So how is the skin of the base? I would say if it is between the anterior and the posterior wall, how is the skin of axilla? Only one thing which we can think of, it has got some pores here. There are these foul-smelling sweat glands are there. So and then there is superficial fascia, and then there is axillary fascia also in the. So here you can think of this is the if this is the base of the axilla between the anterior wall and the posterior wall. So what are the muscles in the anterior wall of this axilla? Pectoralis major and the pectoralis minor muscle. So this is the anterior wall, this is the posterior wall formed by scapula, this is subscapularis in front. So in between the anterior and posterior wall, you can think this is the base of the axilla. It is filled up of fat. So there is so much of fat, this is whole of the axilla, not only the base, it is actually whole of the axilla. This is the base. These are the structures which are lying inside the axilla. So what are the contents of the axilla? Axilla as a whole. There is axillary artery, there is axillary vein, there are axillary group of lymph nodes. So you can see over here, this is axillary artery, axillary vein, and there are these are the cords of the brachial plexus, and there are axillary group of lymph nodes. So anterior wall, posterior wall, this one is the base, and you can see these are the contents of the axilla. So now there are two folds in the axilla. There is anterior axillary fold and there is posterior axillary fold. So anterior axillary fold is formed by the pectoralis major. Mainly this is the pectoralis major. Minor is a very small muscle. And posterior axillary fold, it will be formed mainly the muscle which is going from the inferior angle of the scapula. This is the latissimus dorsi and the teres major muscle. So these three muscles actually, they are forming the anterior axillary fold and the posterior axillary fold. So there is pectoralis major, there is latissimus dorsi, and there is teres major muscle. They are forming the anterior and the posterior axillary folds. So now we have finished the boundaries. Now I am coming to the content. But before going to the content, let's think of the walls of the axilla. What are the walls? Anterior wall, posterior wall, medial wall, and a lateral wall. Then there is a base and there is an apex. So apex is at the level of which rib? First rib. It is at the outer border of the first rib. So actually it is in the form of canal. Then base is at the level of which rib? 4th to 5th rib. And how many spaces are there in the medial wall? 3 to 4 intercostal spaces, they are there. Lateral wall is formed by what? Lateral wall. Bicipital groove of the humerus is there, and upper part of the humerus we can say. So that is the lateral wall. So apex, base, and then. So what are the contents? Contents are axillary vessels, cords and branches, axillary lymph nodes, and the fat. So first coming to the axillary artery. Now what is axillary artery? It is the single artery which is coming to the upper limb. So if it is disrupted, the whole of the blood supply to the upper limb, it will be disrupted. So which is the main artery in the arm? Brachial artery. So brachial artery is the continuation of axillary artery, and axillary artery is the continuation of subclavian artery. Can anybody tell me subclavian artery is coming from where? It is a direct branch of the arch of aorta on the left side, and on the right side there is brachiocephalic trunk, so it is coming from there. So that means you know about subclavian artery. So subclavian artery from the outer border of the brachial artery, it continues, subclavian artery, it continues as brachial artery from the outer border of the first rib, and at the lower border of the teres major muscle, we call the axillary artery as brachial artery. So if somebody asks you from where to where is the axillary artery, so it is the continuation of subclavian artery at the outer border of first rib. Then it continues as brachial artery from the lower border of teres major muscle. Are we all clear? तो ये यहाँ से यहाँ तक. Then axillary artery is divided into three parts. By a muscle can an artery be divided into three parts? We have divided into three parts for our convenience, and the muscle which divides it into three parts is the pectoralis minor muscle. So the portion of the artery which is still the upper border of the muscle is the first part. The portion of the artery which lies behind the pectoralis minor is the second part, and the portion of the artery which lies distal, which lies distal to the pectoralis minor until the teres major, that is the third part of the axillary artery. Which muscle is dividing it into three parts? Pectoralis minor. So first part is still the upper border, second part is behind the pectoralis minor, and distal to the pectoralis minor is the third part of the axillary artery. Now what are the branches of the axillary artery? So pectoralis minor, you can look over here, ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा रियलिस्टिक है क्योंकि उसमें क्या लग रहा था कि pectoralis minor के सामने से आर्टरी जा रही है. कहाँ से जा रही है? इसके पीछे से जा रही है. So this is the first part of the artery from the outer border of the first rib. Behind the pectoralis minor is the second part, and till the lower border of the teres major muscle, this is the third part of the axillary artery. So pectoralis muscle, it divides it into three parts. So it is the continuation of the subclavian artery from where to where? From the outer border of first rib to the lower border of teres major. Then it continues as brachial artery. This divided into three parts: proximal to the muscle, behind to the muscle, and distal to the muscle. So three parts. Now what are the branches and the relationships of the artery? So इतने सारे इसके relationships तुमको याद रखने हैं, पर एक चीज तो एक तुमको cord के लिए बता देती हूँ. जो there are three cords of the brachial plexus that you will be reading in the next class, I suppose. अभी हुआ नहीं है ना brachial plexus? So there are three cords of the brachial plexus: medial cord, lateral cord, and the posterior cord. So these all cords, they lie as per their name in the second part of, in relation to the second part of the axillary artery. यानी medial cord medial होगा, posterior cord posterior होगा, lateral cord lateral होगा, लेकिन हर part में नहीं होगा. कहाँ पे है ये? सिर्फ second part में. First part में क्या होता है? ब्रेकियल प्लेक्सस थोड़ा ऐसे लैटरली शिफ्ट हो जाता है, तो क्या होगा? मीडियल कॉर्ड पोस्टीरियरली चला गया, लेटरल वाला अपनी जगह पे ही रहा और पोस्टीरियर वाला लैटरल हो गया. बाकी के रिलेशंस देखो, फर्स्ट पार्ट के एंटीरियरली देयर इज पेक्टोरालिस मेजर एंड फेशिया कवरिंग इन स्किन. पेक्टोरालिस माइनर क्यों नहीं है फर्स्ट पार्ट के एंटीरियर रिलेशन में? क्योंकि वो है ही नहीं, है ना. इट इज रिलेटेड टू द सेकेंड पार्ट, बिकॉज सेकेंड पार्ट इज लाइंग बिहाइंड द पेक्टोरालिस माइनर मसल, तो वहां पे नहीं है. तो उधर कौन सा मसल है? सिर्फ फर्स्ट पार्ट के रिलेशन में ओनली पेक्टोरालिस मेजर मसल एंड द फेशिया एंड द स्किन. And then posteriorly there is long thoracic nerve, and what is there? Medial cord of the brachial plexus. अब यहाँ पे medial cord कहाँ चला गया है? Posteriorly. And posterior cord हम और lateral cord कहाँ मिलेंगे हमें? Laterally. एक और रिलेशन जो तुम तीनों पार्ट्स के लिए याद रख सकते हो वो क्या है? Axillary vein. Axillary vein is lying medial to the artery. ठीक है. Then the laterally there is lateral cord and posterior cord of the brachial plexus. Superior thoracic artery is the only branch from the first part of the axillary artery. So what is the only branch from the first part of axillary artery? Superior thoracic artery. Did you hear its name when you heard the blood supply of mammary gland? Yes or no? But it supplies only a little bit, or it doesn't supply. Main supply to the mammary gland is from the lateral thoracic artery, and that lateral thoracic artery it comes from the second part. But then superior thoracic artery is there, and it supplies the muscles of the first and the second part. Anastomosis supplies the muscles of first and second intercostal spaces. Then और क्या रिलेशंस तुमको इसके समझ में आए फर्स्ट पार्ट के? क्या इसमें रिलेशन में नहीं है? पेक्टोरलिस माइनर नहीं है. कौन सा बड़ा मसल है इसके रिलेशन में? पेक्टोरलिस मेजर. पोस्टीरियरली क्या है इस आर्टरी के? लॉन्ग thoracic nerve एंड मीडियल कॉर्ड ऑफ द ब्रेकियल प्लेक्सस. ठीक है. तो फिर लैटरली क्या है? लैटरल कॉर्ड भी है और पोस्टीरियर कॉर्ड भी है. ठीक है. Then medially there is axillary vein and superior thoracic artery. Now coming to the second part. Second part, where it lies? It lies behind the pectoralis minor. So what will come in its anterior relation? Pectoralis minor तो आएगा ही, उसके सामने pectoralis major. So anteriorly there is pectoralis minor and major. Posteriorly, अब यहाँ पे मैंने क्या बताया था? Second part में cords के relation according to their name हो जाएंगे. So medially which cord will lie? Medial cord. Laterally which cord will lie? Lateral cord. And posteriorly which cord will lie? Posterior cord. तो यहाँ पे posteriorly there is posterior cord of brachial plexus and the subscapularis muscle. Medially again there is axillary vein, along with that medial cord of brachial plexus. Laterally there is lateral cord of the brachial plexus. Now this question is again asked in Viva or in MCQs. Which part of the axillary artery bears the same relation as the names of the cords of brachial plexus? So which part bears the same relation? Second part bears the same relation. Then what are the two branches from the second part? Thoracoacromial artery and the lateral thoracic artery. Now this lateral thoracic artery, it follows the lower border of the pectoralis minor muscle. This you have to remember. So lateral thoracic artery, one of the major arteries which supplies the mammary gland, it follows the lower border of the pectoralis minor. You can see it in this section. And then thoracoacromial artery, it divides into 4 branches. What are the branches? Deltoid, pectoral, clavicular and acromial branches. It is a short trunk-like of structure which as soon as it sprouts from the artery, it divides into 4 branches. So one is clavicular, so that will go alongside of clavicle. One will go into the pectoral region, then the clavicular and acromial branches. So they are there. So this one is the artery from the first part. This is which artery? Superior thoracic artery. Then there is lateral thoracic and the acromiothoracic, which divides it into 4 parts, and then from the third part there will be 2 branches. So lower border of the pectoralis minor to the lower border of the teres major. So what are the relations of the third part? The anteriorly there will be pectoralis major, then medial root of the median nerve, and posteriorly there will be subscapularis, latissimus dorsi, teres major, and the axillary and radial nerves. Don't try to remember these relations because you have not heard the names of the axillary and the radial nerves. You will be like seeing axillary and radial nerves. They are the branches of posterior cord of brachial plexus. So that means they will be lying posteriorly. The medial root of the median nerve, it will be lying anteriorly. So अभी तुमको बहुत ऐसा इसको याद करने का नहीं है. So what are the branches of the axillary artery? From the first part it is the superior thoracic artery. From the second part it is lateral thoracic. Where is the lateral thoracic? And then there is acromiothoracic. So along the lower border of the pectoralis minor, it is the lateral thoracic. And then from the thoracoacromial trunk, again you can see there are 4 branches. They will be sprouting from the thoracoacromial trunk. Then there are 2 branches from the third part. One is the subscapular artery and the second one is the posterior circumflex humeral artery. So which are the 2 direct branches? Subscapular artery and the posterior circumflex humeral artery. Anterior circumflex humeral it will be branched from this circumflex scapular artery. So medially these are relations: ulnar nerve, axillary vein, and laterally there will be coracobrachialis, biceps, lateral root of median. इसमें हमें नहीं जाना. So which are the 2 main branches from the third part? Subscapular artery and the anterior. It is the posterior circumflex humeral artery, I'm sorry, and then the thoracodorsal artery and the circumflex scapular artery. Third branch is the posterior circumflex humeral artery. अच्छा तुमको attendance के लिए आ रहे हैं. So what are the 3? There are 6 branches actually from the third part of the axillary artery. One is subscapular artery, one is anterior circumflex humeral, and the third one is the posterior circumflex humeral artery. So 3 branches from the third part, 2 branches from the second part, and 1 branch from the first part. So how many total branches? 6 branches from the 3 parts of the. कहाँ गए थे तुम? हाँ ठीक है, कुछ emergency थी. Now what are the 3 these? So again we can see what are the 3 parts of the axillary artery, how they are defined. They are defined in relation to which muscle? Pectoralis minor muscle. So proximal to the pectoralis minor, what is there? The first part. Behind the pectoralis minor, which part is there? Second part. And distal to the pectoralis minor, what is there? The third part of the axillary artery. So if a part, what is the main branch from the first part of the axillary artery? It is the superior thoracic artery. From the second part, which 2 branches? Lateral thoracic and thoracoacromial branch. And which are the 3 branches from the third part? Subscapular artery, anterior circumflex humeral, and the posterior circumflex humeral. You very well remember the posterior circumflex humeral. It winds around the surgical neck of the humerus along with a nerve, that is the axillary nerve. So both these, they wind around the surgical neck of humerus. Now the vein which is the content of the axilla, that is the axillary vein. Now there are 2 kinds of veins in upper limb. One is the superficial veins, and one group is known as the deep vein. So axillary vein is the vein which is the deep vein or the main vein of the upper limb. So now this axillary vein is the continuation of the basilic vein at the lower border of teres major muscle, and then this axillary vein will continue as subclavian vein at the outer border of the first rib. जैसा आर्टरी के लिए था वैसा ही क्या है, वेन के लिए भी है. टीरीज मेजर के लोअर बॉर्डर से हम एक्सिलरी आर्टरी को क्या बोल रहे थे? ब्रेकियल आर्टरी. सिमिलरली एक्सिलरी वेन बन जाएगा बेसिलिक वेन से. कहाँ बनेगा? लोअर बॉर्डर ऑफ teres major muscle. You can see over here. So basilic vein, it will continue as axillary vein from the teres major muscle, and then it will become the subclavian vein. Now how this vein will be formed from the basilic vein? Because basilic vein is a superficial vein. So basilic vein, it pierces the deep fascia, goes down deeper, then it combines with the vena comitanttis around the brachial artery, and then combinedly they will be forming the axillary vein. So where the axillary vein is formed? At the lower border of teres major muscle, and where it will become subclavian vein? At the outer border of the first rib. And then what will be this base cephalic vein? Actually, this will be the tributary of the axillary vein. कुछ बुक्स आप डायरेक्टली ऐसा लिख देते हैं कि एक्सिलरी वेन इज फॉर्म्ड बाय 3 वेन्स. वन इज basilic vein and 2 vena comitanttis around the brachial artery, because vena comitanttis are the veins which run along both sides of the vessel. So both of them, they will combine and then they will join with the basilic vein, and then these 3, they will be forming the axillary vein. So this is the axillary vein. It will, does it lie in the axillary sheath? No, it doesn't lie. And where does it lie in relation to the axillary artery? Medial to the axillary artery. So there is axillary vein lying medial to the axillary artery. So axillary vein is formed by vena comitanttis of the brachial artery and the brachial basilic vein at the lower border of the teres major muscle. It runs along the medial side of the axillary artery, ends at the outer border of first rib by becoming the subclavian vein. And then its tributaries are cephalic vein, veins corresponding to the branches of the axillary artery. So what were the branches of the axillary artery? From the 6 branches, कौन सी? Superior thoracic, lateral thoracic, thoracoacromial, third part से subscapularis, anterior circumflex humeral and the posterior circumflex humeral. So सेम आर्टरी के साथ में आपको सेम वेन्स भी मिलेंगे. सो दीज वेन्स, सो दैट मीन्स देयर विल बी सबस्कैपुलर वेन, देयर विल बी लेटरल thoracic vein. So according to the names of the branches, there are the tributaries of the, again you can see along the lateral border of the upper limb which vein runs? It is the cephalic vein. And along the medial vein, which vein runs? It is the basilic vein. So basilic vein, it goes deeper, become deeper, combined with the vena comitanttis around the brachial artery, and then it becomes the axillary vein, and finally there will be, so axillary sheath. So there is an axillary sheath also. Then the third content of the axilla is the brachial plexus. So this is the nerve plexus formed by the roots C5 to T1 spinal nerves, but you will be reading it in detail in the next class. So it is formed by ventral rami of spinal nerve C5 to T1, divided into roots, trunks, and then the final content, which is very important, that is the axillary group of lymph nodes. Now what are the contents of the axilla if I ask? Axillary lymph nodes, axillary vein, axillary artery, brachial plexus, and of course there is fat also. So fat is also axillary fat, axillary, that is also considered as a content of the axilla. And of course there are axillary group of lymph nodes. So there are 5 groups which are located, which are involved, which are designed as or known as the axillary group of lymph nodes. They include anterior, posterior, lateral, central, and apical group of axillary lymph nodes. Now these lymph nodes or the axillary group, they are concerned with the lymphatic drainage of most of the upper limb. They are concerned with the lymphatic drainage of the mammary gland. So all the lymph above the level of the umbilicus, I would say on the right side, they will be like they pass into this axillary group of lymph nodes. So anterior group of lymph nodes, it lies along the lower border of the pectoralis minor muscle. Can you name the vessel which lies along the lower border of the pectoralis minor muscle? The artery, lateral thoracic artery. So that means these anterior group, always remember that vessels whether it be lymphatic or the blood vessels, they lie in close vicinity. So that means the along the यहाँ पे major लिखा हुआ है, but it lies along the lower border of the pectoralis minor muscle along the lateral thoracic artery. It receives lymph vessels from breast and superficial vessels from the anterolateral abdominal wall above the level of the umbilicus. So they are receiving this much of the you can think of the lymph node. Then posterior group, it lies in front of the subscapularis muscle. It receives lymph from the back down up to the level of iliac crest. So that means you can think of how much lymph is drained by the posterior group. Then lateral group, it lies along the medial side of the axillary vein from the upper limb except the accompanying cephalic vein. Then central group, it lies in the center of the axilla. It receives lymphatics from anterior, posterior and the lateral group of lymph nodes. So three group of lymph nodes, the anterior, posterior and lateral, combinedly they will be transmitting their lymph into the central group of the lymph nodes. Then apical group lies at the apex of the axilla. It receives efferent vessels from all the lymph nodes. Apical group finally drains into the subclavian trunk. This trunk ends in right lymphatic trunk on the right side and onto the thoracic duct onto the left side. You know that there are two major ducts. So right lymphatic duct, it is along the right side. So finally the subclavian trunk, it is draining into the right lymphatic trunk, and on the left side it is draining into the thoracic duct on the left side. So कौन से groups हमने देखे? Anterior, posterior, lateral, central और apical. तो ये जो सारे anterior, lateral और posterior groups हैं, they are draining their lymph into the central group, and finally all are draining into the apical group, and apical group is finally draining into the right lymphatic trunk or the thoracic duct. So onto the right side and on the left side. So this was about the axillary group of lymph nodes. About the applied aspect, if I would say, इनको जो इतना complicated ये जो anatomical distribution है, इसको cover up करने के लिए अब उन्होंने क्या किया है? There are level 1, level 2 and level 3 group of lymph nodes in relation to the this mammary gland carcinoma. So if only the lymph nodes which are involved at the lower border of the pectoralis minor muscle, that means the anterior group, that is level 1. The groups which are lying behind the pectoralis minor, if they are involved, that is level 2. And if the lymph nodes, if they are at the upper border of the pectoralis minor muscle, so that will be level 3. So this way the classification has changed.